Hi YouTube, so I'm back to give you an update on the secret veneers. As you can see, I'm still wearing them, um, but it wasn't as successful as I would have liked to have hoped. Um, Basically, I ended up having a bit of an issue with secret veneers after they sent me out the veneers. I put them in, as you know, from the last video. There was a big gap at the back, which was causing a big, massive air sound coming through. And they were quite sharp as well. So I contacted them, sent them back. No, sorry, I contacted them. They didn't ask for them back. They said that they'd make another set. So they made another set. Sent them out. Had the same issue again. It was still a massive gap. Um, this went on for some time. I started messaging them, never heard back from them for ages, and then I sent a repeat email and a repeat email. Um, and to cut a very long story short, I basically got quite a snotty email from them saying they weren't prepared. They said that they'd sent me out a replacement pair that was altered. I never, ever, ever received them. Um, and they then sent me quite a snotty email. I asked them for proof of postage and what have you, which they couldn't supply because I said, I've spent, I'm going to be spending a lot of money on this and what have you. And as I say, to cut a long story short, they kind of cut me off, said that they'd give me a refund, didn't want to deal with me anymore. And that was that, really. And to send back the originals that they'd given me. So anyway, I sent them back, got a refund. I did say to them I weren't impressed, that I was doing a YouTube review. They did say to me that they would take any legal action against me if I was to say anything negative about them, which led me to obviously, unfortunately, not do a review back. What I will say about secret veneers is that if you have perfectly good, not good teeth, because obviously you wouldn't be getting them otherwise, but if you have issues like mine, my teeth, then they're possibly not the best thing for you. Um, Eventually, after contacting the post office and everything else, after I got my refunds and what have you, the post office actually got back to me, luckily, because I know somebody there. Um, and it was wrongly addressed. So it was in my name, but it was in the wrong address. It had been returned back to the post office and it had been sat in the post office for quite some time. So I was able to go and pick them up, which is the ones that I have in now. Problem with the ones that I have in now, as much as they said they changed them, everything else, they're exactly the same. I've got the massive gap at the back, which gives a massive air sound. So every few months, I have to go and buy the putty that you get in the pack from Secret Veneers to do the impressions. You can buy that online, which it comes in different colours. I've had different colours now, reds and blues, and comes with a white. You mix the two together. And I fill that gap with the putty. But I'm sorry, this has come across as a quite. I'm not the happy-go-lucky person that I normally am. The reason I'm wearing these are broken several times. I've had to glue them, so you can see there it's been glued there. It's been glued on the other side here. They've snapped quite badly, and I'm really desperate not to. Once you get used to having something like this, it's really hard to go back to what you've got. My teeth are really bad, and I'm so scared of the dentist because of all this stuff. I think I said this in my last video, but of all the issues that I had with the dentist when I was a kid. The last time I went to try and go to the dentist, which is probably 20 plus years ago now, I went in just to go and have my teeth checked because I needed to get them cleaned and what have you. And I was sitting in the waiting room, all my hands were getting clammy, getting all that anxiety and everything else. My name was called through the intercom, so I went upstairs, went into the dental surgery. Next minute, no, I've woken up at the back of an ambulance being taken to A&E. I got myself so worked up that I passed out, fell, cracked my nose and cut all my nose open on the sink, and landed up going into A&E to have my nose stitched up and what have you. And since working on the ambulance service as an adult and having some issues from working from the ambulance service, I have quite severe anxiety. So the idea of going to the dentist absolutely terrifies me, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do it. The only way I'll be able to do it is to be knocked out. Can't find anyone that would knock me out, not on the NHS anyway, because obviously I'm not working for the ambulance service now. And my teeth, well, I say my teeth, my back teeth are the ones that cause me. I get an abscess. I used to get an abscess every year around about Christmas time, every single year. Now I'm getting them 2-3 times a year underneath the broken teeth that I have at the back. And all I do is luckily I have friends in Spain where you can buy Alamoxilin over the counter. I get them sent to me, and I take the Alamoxilin to get rid of the infection, get rid of the abscess, and I pretty much live on these. Tramadol. I'm taking them now because my back teeth are so bad now that just breathing in and air touching them absolutely kills. But with great respect, I know there's probably so many people watching this and thinking, you know, how pathetic, just goes to the dentist. These teeth have been like this for at least 20 years, since an awful incident that happened to me, and my teeth got broken. So I'll give you a quick view. So the top of the veneers have been okay. That's the putty that I have to put in, which makes all my gums really soft. It's making my gums recede quite a fair bit because obviously they're constantly moist and not getting any air to them. These are the bottom ones, and as you can see, where's the camera? They've been glued there all the way round. So it makes them, luckily, my bottom teeth don't show that much, so I can kind of hide that. And these are the offending teeth. Let me just see if I can move you closer. Sorry. So as you can see, I've got this tooth here, which unfortunately you can't see, but at the back it's completely cut in half. So I have a bare tooth, like the middle of the tooth there. I have I don't think you can really make it out, but I have 1 and 2. The first one there is half. It's pretty much black, so I don't even know if it's coming up on the video. Oh, sorry. So yeah, they're really bad. It helps wear the veneers because it protects them a little bit, so the air doesn't get to them. I really struggle drinking tea or any kind of drink really. So they help, but obviously I can't eat with them in because they do break with eating with them. And I even thought, do you know what, I'll have a look at other companies, but I've looked at another company and they sound really good reviews, seen some honest ones on YouTube and what have you. But the problem is that you need to have certain teeth in place to be able to have them. And the only tooth I've got right here at the back at the top, I've got one tooth there, which is where the abscess is coming up this time round. So the abscess it's now coming up underneath another tooth. So obviously this tooth is an issue. It's quite wobbly as well. So that's eventually going to come out. I have 2 broken teeth here where nothing will attach to, and then this one here is half broken. So I will literally be left with the tooth next to my front tooth on this side, and that's it, and there'll be nothing for. So it upsets me because I really hate being like this. I really hate having bad teeth. It affects everything that I do. Um, and obviously it causes me an awful lot of pain. Uh, I've gone to, I don't even know why. I was going to try and see if I could get finance or something. Not that a finance company would touch me, but I even went to go and see if I could just, the ideal thing for me, because of the amount of fear that I have with dentists and what have you, would be to have what they call 4-on-1. So that's all your teeth taken out, 4 bolts put in, and then a whole plate of veneers actually just screwed in. And I think I would be able to return backwards and forwards to the dentist because there'd be no nerves there would be nothing there to cause me any pain. So if I needed any work done on any of the veneers, I think I could go back and have that done. But I just can't afford it. It was something like 20 odd grand just for the top. So many people said about going abroad and getting it done, because you can get it for like 2-3 grand if you go abroad and get it done. But then obviously it's cost of the flights, cost of just finding 2-3 grand to have it done. And it really has affected everything in my life. I don't work on the ambulance service anymore because I'm not confident. This is the first time that I'm actually just being bare James and just showing you my teeth. So yeah, when it comes to secret veneers, I think it's down to personal experience. It's entirely up to you if you feel like using them. I feel I have no choice. I've spent the money on those. Went to spend the money on those. Obviously got a refund, but I only paid a £50 deposit to start off with, and got that back. And I just don't have the money to do anything else. So I have to struggle along and use them. And as I say, because it's caused me so much pain to have those teeth bare, and it's not just those. I mean, I'm not happy with my teeth at all. I'm not happy. There's a massive gap there, because I haven't gone to the dentist since I left boarding school, which is where all the trauma happens with the school dentist. I haven't ever seen a dentist to get anything done. So obviously, unfortunately, I are slightly discoloured. I do have the gap, and I have all these issues here. I even found out when I was 21 a tooth came out naturally, and when I looked at it, it's on my Facebook. I can maybe put a picture in the comment of this. Had like a nail in it, and I didn't understand why this tooth had a nail. It had, so I put it on Facebook, and a few people came back to me and actually said it was actually a false screw-in tooth, and all that would have been done before I was 14 years old, at the school dentist. I've had an x-ray done many years ago, and they found that my front tooth has had root canal work done. And I've blocked out a lot of stuff that happened at the school dentist because it was just so barbaric and horrendous. But I kind of do remember something being done to the front of my tooth, because I remember being an absolutely excruciating pain at the dentist. And I kind of have memories of not having any form of pain relief and having, I've blacked out a lot of it. I honestly don't remember. I just remember of going through 4 to 5 years of absolute torture. And I do honestly believe, and so do my parents honestly believe, it was down to the school dentist. Because obviously I was at boarding school, so they had their own dentist that I would have to go and see, and I think it was more a profit earning thing than it was to actually ensure that my teeth were in good order. So yeah, guys, sorry for getting upset. It's your choice. Secret Veneers or any of the other companies, I can't vouch for any of those because I haven't used them, although I would love to, rather than having to put up with what I'm having to put up with. But I'm not being derogatory about Secret Veneers as a company, but for me, the experience with them didn't work. Yes, I am using their veneers, but I'm having to put it all up and everything else, just to be able to use them. I can only have them in for so long, which means I can only be out for so long, because my gums start to hurt because they're obviously being covered with all this putty, and not getting any air to them. So then if I am going out, I'm constantly talking like this. This is a natural position for me, is talking like this. I don't feel confident in work, in interviews, or even going to the local shop. I feel like everyone's looking at me. And the one thing I will say is, when you do get used to having such a nice smile and being able to smile without having to put your hand over your mouth, and everything else, it's really hard. And I'm finding it really hard to go back to natural James with the horrible crappy teeth and everything else. So yeah, as I say, I'm not being derogatory about Secret Veneers. I think it's down to my own personal experience. I didn't find that their communication was very good. Obviously their postage wasn't very good, because I wouldn't have landed up being in the situation that I was in if it wasn't for the right address being put on, and at least the communication as well. The communication was absolutely dire. I actually got an email from the person that I was emailing, having a right go at me, saying that she's really gone through personal health issues and what have you, and that's why she hasn't been in contact, and was having a right go at me. But again, as a company, when you message a company, you expect some sort of reply back, and if that person who doesn't own the business but just works for the company is that seriously ill, that you would think that somebody would take over that position or oversee that position, or something, at least communicate with their clientele. And that's where a lot of the issues stems from, is the lack of communication. So guys, try out Secret Veneers if you want to. It's the cheapest out of all of them, out of all the clip-on veneers that are out there. So it's probably worth a go if you've got that kind of money to try them out and see what you think. But yeah, I'll leave that with you. I'll just quickly show you the rigmarole of putting these in with the way they've been made for me. So that's in, but as you can hear, if I sound really daft, I've got a massive gap at the top. So now, like my first video, it's got that wispy sounds, which when they say on their website and stuff, you get used to it and you get over it. You won't get over this, because this is about air going underneath the veneers and making that awful sound. And it's exactly the same. The bottoms are actually okay. They don't do that. So they go in okay. But as you can hear, it's very wispy. So then what I do is I get this putty, and we get a little bit of the white, like so. And this is the rigmarole that I have to go through, probably, because I need to have breaks from them, because food, where the missing teeth are, because there's a gap at the back still, no matter what you do, if you try and drink or what have you, it gets stuck behind there, and then that causes me even more pain, because it's covering up the bad tooth and probably it's full of bacteria and God knows what else. So you'll hear a massive difference in my talking as soon as I've done this putty. So here we go. Got the yellow and the white, and we just mix that together so it's properly mixed together. And then what we do is just roll a bit. And it's mainly the front bit that makes my sound really daft. So I put that in, and straight away you can hear that's slightly better if I do the sides as well. That's one side. Okay, so that's with the putty in, and I think I sound a lot better. There's not that wispy sound coming. I mean, I've got a bit of a lisp, which is natural because you can't get rid of that because you have got something over your teeth. But I haven't got that airy sound that was coming through. And if I smile, I feel so much more confident like this. This is the person I wish I was. One thing I will say, guys, is that if you're doing this because of anxiety of going to the dentist or because you do have pretty bad teeth, if you get on with them, you get on with them, and then it gets embarrassing to think about taking them out, and that's my problem. I've got really used to them. I've got used to being able to smile and be confident, but because my teeth are bad underneath and I can't do anything about it, I'm confident in stages until I have to go and take them out because I need to eat, or take them out because they're starting to really get quite sore, my gums are getting sore. So that's my true and honest review. I'm hoping, you never know, one day I might win the lottery or even get a really not a bad paid job and maybe be able to go to Thailand or somewhere and go and get it done for a couple of grand. But unfortunately I'm 41 now and I'm not I'm not thinking that's going to happen in any time really. So yeah, here we go, guys. This is my not necessarily my response back to the review, but because again, I don't want issues coming back from Secret Veneers being funny with me. But this is my personal experience from using their service and what have you. So if you decide to use any, guys, best of luck. I really hope you get on all right. But you know what, if it's just because you've got discoloured teeth and you can go to the dentist and get them whitened or what have you, and you don't have a fear over a dentist, I strongly suggest doing that, because this is not a long-term resolution, and I really need a long-term resolution. And apart from going somewhere, getting knocked out and getting a Ryland smile, I think it was the wrong thing for me. And as I say, because they're breaking and I can't go back to Secret Veneers to go and get anything done, I'm just gluing them and gluing them and gluing them. And I actually realised I was at the back of the top one that I'd actually glued part of the top one as well, because it's split on the inside on one of the teeth, so I've landed up gluing that as well. So there you go, guys. Sorry to waffle. There's my reply in regards to my last few reviews. Wish you all the best. Peace, love and light to all of you.